Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator of the Bhakti Center in New York, Kastuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to, what day is it? Friday?
It's Thursday, I think.
It's Thursday. Welcome to Thursday's study of the Srimad Bhagavatam here. We are just recovering, all spiritually hungover from our holiday bash we had here at the farm yesterday. We got some people live. We got the bright light here. The bright light and the moon are here. We got Snooky and Snookalini are here. Cat, the handstand queen, is here. And how are you, Kastuba?
Good, Raghunath.
We have sweet people in our lives. That's my morning statement. I've got sweet people.
No,
in my
look at you
lives.
all happy today.
I was having a talk with Jamie's Step Dojo yesterday because he said that. He goes, you got so many good people that are here. And I was like, it's not random. It's like every time we close a door, that keeps certain people from coming in that door. Every time you open a door, it lets other people in. And my realization after he said that was like, every day we have an opportunity to allow certain people in our life and sort of like hold other people away from us. And we want to get people who bring us up. We want to get people who lift us up, lift us higher, make us stronger, make us more resolute and focused and connected. And these are the people what we want. So it could happen by chance, but generally things like that don't. And when we become focused in who we want to become, then all of a sudden we just allow these certain people in. So I have the good fortune that whenever I usually pick up the phone, like somebody calls me, I'm always saying, hey, Harry Ball. It's like I've got a bunch of like spiritually minded people on my, what do you call that? The speed dial. They don't even really have speed dial anymore, but they have favorites on my favorites.
There you go.
How are you, sir?
Kelly Skinner's taking notes right now. Okay, when you open up one door, certain people come in.
Okay, she's taking it down. She's going to come back one day covered in tattoos with takeaways. Kelly Skinner led a great kirtan yesterday. We had really nice kirtan. Seth was here. Who else sang it? Patrick Heff was here singing away. Damodar Priya was singing.
Good.
Yes. Maybe we'll go to Prague this year.
Did Amalini come?
Amalini was here. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Let's move this forward, bro. I can see you're in one zone or another. Like yesterday, you're in a certain zone. Today, you're like in the happy zone, but still, like you don't know, like
I'm an emotional
how to take a step
being.
forward.
Okay.
Right. Maybe Mara's got something to share.
Yeah, Mara, what's up? What's going on in your world?
Good morning. We have Bhakti Recovery Group meetings today at noon and 1:30. And Cult of Cain's asana class this week is canceled. He's on vacation.
I was on vacay. All right.
Yeah. Oh. Doesn't get a vacation. All righty. Well, let's take this on to the nugget now that my phone's been confiscated by Miss Mara. Oh, look who it's from. It's from G.K. Chesterton.
Are you familiar with G.K. Chesterton?
Well, we've quoted him before on the show.
Have we?
Yeah,
Maybe once. Maybe once.
I know at least once because this name is a funny name, and it was like you hear a name like this, you don't forget it.
That's what
G.K.
I said,
Chesterton,
Puff and stuff.
HR. Yes, that's what we did. We called him HR Puff and stuff.
G.K. Chesterton.
And if you
And
don't know who HR Puff and stuff, you might want to just like Google it right now, because he
Okay.
was like this acid trip of a character, like when we were growing up.
I don't even know who he is.
HR Puff and stuff. You never watched HR Puff and stuff?
No.
It was like a whole
we're gonna
crazy acid trip of a kids show.
Okay.
Just YouTube it. It's almost worth pausing the podcast.
It's
to
not.
YouTube search HR Puff and stuff.
Okay. But he was an English writer, a philosopher, a Christian apologist, and a literary and art critic. And he looks exactly like you would expect him to look like.
HR Puff and stuff.
He's
A
got
giant
those
dragon.
glasses that have no arms to them or
Arms.
whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? And he's got a big.
With
I
the thing
picture him with a
hanging
big,
down.
thick mustache and a big, thick beard.
No beard, but a
and
very
whitish
thick
hair and it
mustache.
curls at the end,
No, but a big, fluffy, curly hair kind of thing, but not white.
and some type of derby.
Tweed
top hat.
outfit.
It's
Yeah.
amazing that people wore hats all the time. No one wears hats.
Raghunath, we got to get focused today. We got to get focused today. I want you to
I
read.
thought we were just talking as friends.
We
I
gotta
have the
read.
ability to like cut out all the thousands of faces listening to us and just like talk to you. See, that's a good thing. It's like we're friends.
No, usually you cut me out and you just talk about
just
anything.
talk.
Yeah. So let's read the nugget, Raghunath. Let's get focused here.
Okay,
This
here's
is
from HR Puff and stuff.
G.K. Chesterton.
Okay. It isn't that they can't see the solution. It's that they can't see the problem.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. To me, I'm going to read that again.
Okay.
It isn't that they can't see the solution. It is that they can't see the problem.
Okay.
This is great. It's like we live in a world fixing symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't understand.
Yes.
Oftentimes in the fixing of the symptoms, we cause more problems.
Right.
Because we're not getting to the root, the heart, the root of the disease. Just because the check engine light is going on, that's not the problem. Oh, that light's blinking. That's not a good light to blink. I should get a screwdriver and pound that light off, because when the
That's
light
right.
goes on, the car breaks down. Yeah, no, that's a symptom. That's a warning sign. That's a good thing, right? Acid indigestion. You don't try to get rid of acid indigestion by taking Tums. You find
You
out,
try to get
what
rid of
am
the
I eating?
cause.
What am I
Yeah.
eating that's giving me acid indigestion?
Or maybe you don't have a healthy gut. Maybe that's
Or maybe no gut flora. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm compounding food, undigested food on top of undigested food. Maybe I'm drinking too much liquids with my meal.
Yeah.
Goes
You
through-
know,
maybe bad food combining, huh?
could have been too much silk nog over the
A
holidays.
little silk nog and orange juice. That doesn't go well. That's going to give you acid indigestion. Okay, let's continue with this. People get the analogy.
Well, yeah, commonly and I think Prabhupada used it. He used the analogy of the fish out of water, right? No matter what you do for that, why isn't the fish happy? Let's get a cigar.
I love
Maybe that'll
this.
make it happy.
This is such a good analogy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's solid.
Did Prabhupada come up with this? Is it in the Bhagavatam, this analogy?
I don't
besides
think it's
a
the
purport?
Bhagavatam. I'm not honestly. Maybe someone could look that up for us. Mara, maybe you could search origin of the fish out of water analogy and see what you come up with.
If people don't know this analogy, the idea is that if you take a fish and you take it out of water and you give it anything wonderful, like what's the nicest thing you can give a fish out of water? You could put it on a silk pillow. It would probably like that a little.
Maybe another fish.
You maybe give it another fish, right? Maybe take it to a movie.
Like a
maybe put it in
soulmate.
a sports car. Maybe take it out to a restaurant. Thai food.
Money?
Whatever you
Give it
want.
money.
And the idea is like, no matter what you do, no matter you hold the fish, you stroke the fish,
And the fish still isn't happy.
Even if you're giving it everything, all the love you could possibly give this fish.
It's not that you can't see the solution. That's not the issue here.
Yeah, it's like the fish just won't be happy. You could give it a Cuban cigar. It's not going to be happy until you put it back in the water. Why? Because that's where it belongs.
That's what the
The
problem was. It's
spirit
out of the
soul
water.
is desperately trying to find happiness in a material world.
Mm.
That's the problem.
There
It
you go.
needs to and that's why we can get together, drive, I'm looking at Lori Pack and the Chief. They drove 3 hours plus to come here yesterday. To do what? To sit on the floor, right? To sit on the floor and sing songs. It's like, come on, get a life. No, that is life. That's the life. You come together with people who are spiritually focused and you sit and do the most simple of simple things. We're trying to do all these extravagant things. Just put the fish back in the water, please.
So we were reading yesterday about
Sarah's
how
got some insight. Listen, look, check it out. She's all
yeah, okay,
she's
great.
all perky.
You guys asked me to find the expression dates back to at least the 14th century, and it was in the
Oh, okay.
prologue to the Canterbury Tales.
It was in the Canterbury Tales. It's
Excellent.
amazing. Prabhupada was also, besides everything else Prabhupada is, he was very educated. Very educated.
Yes, he was.
Okay, what were you saying?
Are you sure you've run out of energy yet? Maybe we'll run a few laps around the house and then. I was saying yesterday we were reading about how our desires drive us to pursue pleasure. And we pursue it in so many different, like you were saying, so many different varieties of ways. So many ridiculous ways, really.
Ridiculous.
I mean, it's getting more and more ridiculous, but we find that we get the opposite result. We're still not happy. We're still not satisfied. We still haven't found peace. We still haven't found contentment. We still feel something's missing, something's lacking. It's not that we got to keep searching harder for the solution. It's that we have to just understand what the problem is, right? We're a fish out of the water. What we were reading yesterday was saying that the illusion that we are disconnected from our source, from the root of all existence, that there is something that ties everything together. And when you get deeper into the confidentiality of that topic, you find it's someone. And when we act in, say, blindness of that, particularly when it's done with enthusiasm, then it doesn't matter what material adjustment that we make. We can keep going on and on. We can get creative. We can spend money. It doesn't satisfy. We got to try to understand what's the root cause of the problem. And so Bhagavatam, a lot of what it's doing is it's helping us understand that, helping us see everything and everyone as tied together, as all connected, but all connected to one central point. And then can we move in harmony around that central point? Then we're solving the problem. Then it doesn't matter. Like you're saying, oh, I drove for 3 hours and I just sat on the floor and sang some songs. What a waste of time. No. You find happiness right there because you're moving in harmony with that central point, right? That central person. So anyway,
also it triggers other things. The one event doesn't necessarily end in and of itself. Then you got a car ride home and you're talking about things and you're appreciating things.
Sure.
It triggers conversation and thoughtfulness. You know what I was thinking also, Kastubi, you could also miss this whole thing. Krishna is he's hard to catch with just your mind and intelligence. We can get natural symptoms like, you know what? This material world is too much. I've cluttered up my life. I have too much junk in my life. And so we could be feeling like this doesn't feel right. Like the fish does not feel right out of water. So we could get this intuition also that something's not right, which is a beautiful, natural, healthy intuition for an intuitive person. And then we can say, you know what? I've just created a complicated life. I'm going to uncomplicate. Oh, this guy's driving me crazy. I'm going to cut him out of my life. Oh, all this stuff. I'm going to renounce so much clutter in my life. And I'm going to live simply. And I'm going to live just a connected life, maybe get a garden and move out of the city or something like that. But the point is that unless it's got a spiritual connection, just shaving down my clutter is also not going to fulfill me as well. You could also still be a fish out of water in a renounced way as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not renunciation. Isn't the root problem? Isn't that we're not renounced? Like the root problem is that we're not connected.
Yes. Mary's writing that down. Yeah.
If you read Bhagavad Gita, you're going to see Krishna saying, "Connect to me," right? Yukta, nitya yukta. Be connected to me always. He's not going to say renounce everything and then everything's going to be good. No, he's saying connect, reconnect. Okay. We start a very fascinating chapter today, Raghunath.
Great. It's a fascinating book for fascinating people. Join us.
We're not going to quite. Every year we've managed to end the canto that we're on right at New Year's.
Really?
We're not going to pull that off. Yeah, we're not going to pull that. Yeah, the first year was.
We're breaking a tradition.
First year was first and second canto.
It's unbelievable. We're going to our
Will you
anniversary.
let me talk at all today? My God, I can't get half a sentence in.
I'm a little wound up today.
What is going on here?
I don't know what it is. Kelly Skinner's here. It's like,
you're excited. All right, you go ahead.
I always say it's our anniversary coming up. It's amazing. It's our 3-year anniversary.
4-year
anniversary.
Yeah.
Wow. It's exciting. Are we going to be able? We can't even do it on the 4-year anniversary. We'll be traveling, won't we?
Yeah, we won't.
We can't do it on that. We can't do it on the 1st.
No,
I can't do it on the 1st. But we can do the 31st.
No.
No. Oh, that's
actually, yeah.
Yeah, we can't. You can do it on the 2nd. Ouch.
31st is the Sunday.
Yeah, we fly out.
We're in the air.
In the morning? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You fly in the morning. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're off. We're off Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
Back on Tuesday.
All right. Let's do the invocation because we're right in this, right?
Yeah, we're in it now.
Okay. Narayanam namaskritya naram shaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam madirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta presh vadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhakti bhavati naishtaki, by regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees. All that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyana Tamarandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Midatam Yena Tasmaye Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 17, Text 1, entitled Mother Parvati Curses Chitraketu.
Who's Mother Parvati, Raghunath?
She's the daughter of Parvat, king of the mountains. She's the wife of Lord Shiva. She was the incarnation of Sati.
And she's kind of like the goddess that's kind of in charge of the material energy, right? Like the material world is kind of operating under her direction.
And she's the mother, the divine mother, in her many manifestations.
Yeah, she's got power. She's got power.
Yeah,
today
she is power. She's Shakti.
That's Shakti. All right,
let's dive in.
So where we left off was that a promise was made by Lord Vishnu to Chitraketu Maharaj, right? He heard a lot of beautiful instruction from Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Vishnu ended it. Let me see if I can find it. Trying to find it. Yeah, here. Is this it? No. Oh, I'm lost. Oh, here we go. He said this. This is the last verse that we read. O king, if you accept this conclusion of mine, and that conclusion was how everything's working under his direction, how to reconnect with him, and through reconnecting with him through divine love. This is what he says. If you accept this conclusion of mine, being unattached to material enjoyment, adhering to me with great faith, and thus becoming proficient and fully aware of knowledge and its practical application in life, you will achieve the highest perfection by attaining me. Right? You'll be fully connected again. Now we're going to see just how proficient King Citraketu became, because he's going to be put through a test, and he's just going to handle it like a pro. All right? Proficient.
Proficient. All right, let's dive in. Text 1. Sukadeva Swami said, after offering obeisances to the direction from which Ananta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, had disappeared, Chitraketu, right? So just disappeared. Now Chitraketu standing there. Poof. Right? Chitraketu began traveling in outer space as the head of the Vidyadharas. Oh, yeah, he's put in a position of head of this species of higher beings, right?
Yeah, you want to hear about the Vidyadharas?
Oh, you got some Vidyadhara info? For
In the
sure.
Hindu epics, Vidyadharas literally means
Vidya, right?
They're carrying knowledge or carrying wisdom. In the Hindu epics, Vidyadharas are described as essentially spirits of the air. They're described as doing different activities in the epics, like gazing at human prowess with astonishment, strewing flowers, watching a combat, rejoice. Because here, like, many times you hear them mentioned in relation to another event, right? Like, oh, a battle goes on, and then the Vidyadharas, like, they throw flowers or something like that. Yeah. It's not, I don't think it's what they're all about, but we hear of them in those
like Mara, like, it's not like everybody on Earth knits, but Mara knits occasionally, you know? So they drop flowers from the sky, they blow bugles or something like that, right?
Yeah. They possess great magical powers, like the ability to diminish their size. They are endowed with epithets, describing them as doers of good and devoted to joy.
Okay.
They live on the Gandhamandana mountain and other Himalayan mountains with the Kanaras. I think Kanaras are some kind of bird species, aren't they?
No.
Am I wrong about that?
Oh, wait. Karuna says yes. I'm defeated by a 10-year-old.
They're birds. Yeah, some kind of bird. And they are also described as residing on Mount Karancha on Chitraketu, where Ram saw Vidyadhara women playing, and in the hills of Malabar and in the country, and they're all over the place. They're described throughout.
Yeah.
These texts. Okay, but there's some kind of
411 here.
Celestial.
I have some information on Kanaras.
Okay, excellent.
A celestial lover and musician, half human and either half horse or half bird.
What? Half horse and half horse and what? Human?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're always half human.
I wonder what part of the half.
We don't know.
Are they the horse head and the human body, or is it a horse legs and a human head, or is it straight down the middle, like regular mouth and a horse mouth next to it?
Doesn't matter. Let's move this on. Text 1.
I think it's good to vision these things, though. Okay, text 2 to 3. Being praised by the great sages and saints and by the inhabitants of Siddhaloka and Charanaloka, Chitraketu, the most powerful mystic yogi, wandered about enjoying life for millions of years. With bodily strength and senses free from deterioration, he traveled within the valleys of Sumeru Mountain, which is the place of perfection for various kinds of mystic power. In those valleys, he enjoyed life with the women of the Vidyadhara Loka by chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Hari. One time, while King Chitraketu was traveling in outer space on a brilliantly effulgent airplane given to him by Lord Vishnu, he saw Lord Shiva surrounded by siddhas and charanas. It's like an old otherworldly scene going on right here.
Yeah, those siddhas, I think they're like super yogis, right? And charanas?
Yeah, just flying through outer space. Look up
I'm
charanas.
not sure what the charanas are.
The Siddhas are the perfected beings. They're all these higher planet beings, but Mara's going to come up with anything.
Take a look at Charnas.
Lord Shiva was sitting in an assembly of great saintly persons and embracing Parvati on his lap with his arm. Chitraketu laughed loudly and spoke within the hearing of Parvati.
Okay, so this is where everything starts. Right
This is
here.
where it all falls apart. Inappropriate things said to Lord Shiva.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot said. Well, let's hear what he says, and then we can talk about it. But this is unusual. Here you have Lord Shiva, who's like an important spiritual figure, and this isn't like he's in some quiet, secluded place embracing Parvati. He's kind of like in a traditional setting where you would speak about, where you'd have the elevated spiritual conversation. You don't expect someone to have their wife sitting on their lap when they're speaking in that way. So it was unusual. And he saw it. Well, let's hear what he says, and then we can talk a bit more about it.
Chitraketu said, Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the general populace, is the best of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. He enunciates the system of Dharma, yet how wonderful it is that he is embracing his wife, Parvati, in the midst of an assembly of great saintly persons.
Yeah.
When he says wonderful, he's being a little, he means fantastic. How unbelievable.
It makes me wonder. I wonder how this is possible that he's doing this.
Right. It's not a thing. And you don't put members of the opposite sex on your lap publicly.
Yes, especially in that kind of setting. It was very unusual. But now Shiva is the kind of person that can do unusual things.
Right.
For sure.
He's above the rules. If I was to sit on Mara's lap, that would be awkward. It
would.
But Parvati and Shiva, they get a pass. They get a pass on it.
Yeah.
Ordinary person. Lord Shiva, whose hair is matted on his head, has certainly undergone great austerities and penances. So he's sort of glorifying him. Indeed, he is the president in the assembly of strict followers of Vedic principles. Okay. Nonetheless, he is seated with his wife on his lap in the midst of saintly persons and is embracing her as if he were a shameless, ordinary human being.
I don't know what to make of this.
Yeah.
It's like I have so much respect for him. I'm a little concerned that this will bring some kind of unfortunate result. So, there's a commentary on this from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He remarks that although Chitraketu criticized Lord Shiva, he did not offend Lord Shiva like Daksha did. Daksha considered Lord Shiva insignificant, but Chitraketu expressed his wonder at Lord Shiva's being situated in that way. So remember, if we go back to fourth canto, that this figure Daksha, important figure Daksha, when he saw Lord Shiva, he didn't think, oh, Lord Shiva is so great, how is he doing this? He just thought, how is he doing this? Like, who is this guy? Chitraketu's mood is very different. He really appreciates Lord Shiva, and he's a little concerned that this isn't a good thing because people might misunderstand him, and he doesn't want that, right? So it's, in one sense, he's criticizing, but in another sense, it's coming from a really good place. It's not coming from a place of, it's because if it wasn't someone that he respected so much, he wouldn't have maybe even said anything. But because he has so much respect for both Parvati and Lord Shiva, he spoke up and said something.
It's one of these things that it's sometimes hard for an American to get in their mind. And until recently, like very recently, the whole idea of public affection, it's just not not done. At least it wasn't done for so long in India. Now I think it's changing a little because of media and stuff like that. But it's almost like shocking to see it in India. It's just a culture where that doesn't. In America, it's a big thing. You kiss somebody in the street. You hold your hands in the street. You're embracing in the street. It's just not there. I remember we went on a pilgrimage once, and I had this very nice couple who were newlyweds. They were like, they were, I think, they came on pilgrimage for their honeymoon. Nicest couple, very spiritual couple. and we were at the Ganges. It was beautiful, doing this whole lamp offering, and the whole thing. In one sense, it's romantic. And
They
they
started
looked
kissing.
at each other in the eyes. They embraced. They
I love
started
you.
kissing, and I was like, no, no.
This will be misunderstood.
But it was like they didn't do anything wrong in their heart, I felt, but
Yeah.
it was just like publicly, people don't get it. Like, what are they doing here?
What did you
Text
say?
8.
No
What did I
smooching?
say? I didn't say anything. I just sort of like, oh boy.
Okay, text number 8.
The pilgrimage leader takes on the karma for everything. So I just like felt it for myself.
Right.
Ordinary conditioned persons generally embrace their wives and enjoy their company in a solitary place. How wonderful it is that Lord Mahadev, although a great master of austerity, is embracing his wife openly in the midst of an assembly of great saints. Yeah, he's not really criticizing. He's just like sort of overly questioning, perhaps.
Yeah. In one sense, everything that's happening, and this is one of the lessons, is really all in the hands of God, you know? He meant no harm. Parvati, she's going to speak some heavy stuff to him. She's going to, she was not at all pleased with his comment. And we'll see what she does. But in another sense, we're going to see that Chitraketu himself, he's going to walk away saying, I accept everything as like God's plan, right? I accept it.
Right. Well, you know, he is also like, it's not like he wasn't just thinking it. He actually said it, and he said it out loud so they could hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a little hurtful. If you walk by somebody, it's like, oh, nice. Huh. You're going to wear that hat, huh? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's a choice.
Sure
you know what I mean? Like someone says something loud so you can hear it.
Yeah.
It's okay to, I mean, even if you think it. Do you get offense discredits for thinking bad things? What do you think?
I think in this day and age we don't. Although, like you
Like if you're thinking something bad about me,
like if I
that
thought
bad?
I would
Is
like
that
to.
bad?
Well, it's bad on one level, but I don't think we get karmic reaction for it. But at the same time, it does create patterns in your mind, and that you want
Yeah,
to
and eventually it'll lead to probably speaking it or
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so don't think
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Just giving you a little heads up.
No, I let it out already a little earlier in the show.
Let out that Steve. I was thinking really nice things about you today. I didn't say it. I probably don't get good points for thinking them.
No,
You know what I was thinking in the bathroom today? I was thinking,
you don't have to say it right now.
I was thinking, Kostuba's a great soul. That's what I was thinking today. He's a special
Thank
soul.
you. Okay.
I was thinking it, but maybe I don't get any points. So now I'm going to say it publicly. You're a good soul. You're a special
I'm
soul.
going to get some more points. I think you're a really good soul.
Are you just saying that to get points?
I think you're even better than me.
Just,
No,
once
you're
you
better
say
than
to
me.
get points, it doesn't count anymore.
Okay, text 9.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could see your points, your Sukriti points, your pious credit points? Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Text number 9.
Text 9. Like, whoa, I'm really low on points. Srila Sukadev Goswami continued, my dear king, after hearing Chitraketu's statement, Lord Shiva, the most powerful personality whose knowledge is fathomless, simply smiled and remained silent. And all the members of the assembly followed the Lord by not saying anything. Shiva's always so cool-headed, isn't he?
Totally, yeah. I mean, sometimes he gets upset when he wants to wipe everything out, but generally,
when he's not cool-headed, he's not cool-headed. But when he is, he's pretty cool-headed.
And everybody's following suit. All these sages.
Okay,
and these.
All right, you're gonna do that. You're gonna say that out loud.
Are the
Lord
bird
Shiva?
people here? No. It was no, there was Charnas here. We still haven't. Mara, did you ever find out who the Charnas are? Nothing?
No, didn't come up.
How hard did you try, Mara?
Ooh.
Did you spell it right? No H, just CAR.
Yeah.
Okay, she's still working on that.
Tamal Krishna Maharaj would not let her off the hook.
Not at all.
Did you look? Did you look?
Are you telling me
Here we go.
nowhere on the
Charana
internet?
refers to a class of professional singers that once existed in ancient Kashmir, as
Okay.
mentioned in the Nilamata Purana.
There were singers from Kashmir.
Yep.
Maybe the Kashmir singers are named after like the higher planets.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
They're musical.
They're musical beings. It's pretty cool that that's what your race is known as, a musical species.
Mhm.
You know, if you think about it, what do we know parrots are? The parrots are like the talking species. Monkeys are the mischievous, playful species.
How about
Not knowing
text
the
number 10?
Text
There you
10.
go.
Not knowing the prowess of Lord Shiva and Parvati, Chitraketu strongly criticized them.
Okay. It's another way of looking at it.
Yep. His statements were not at all pleasing, right? They weren't pleasing. And therefore, the
Okay.
goddess Parvati, being very angry, spoke as follows to Chitraketu, who thought himself better than Lord Shiva in controlling his senses. That's the problem when you start to control your senses, right? You start to see other people who might even have a lot of bhakti, but not necessarily controlling their senses well.
Yeah.
And you might be like,
I'm better.
who do you think you are? You can't even control your senses.
Yeah, we're very prone to that kind of pride.
Yeah. Text 12. Here's text 11.
Oh,
Here's
text 11.
Parvati speaking. Alas, this upstart has now received a post from which to punish shameless persons like us.
Oh, this little sarcasm.
Yeah. Maybe. Has he been appointed ruler, carrier of the rod of punishment? Is he now the only master of everything? It's basically saying, like, who do you think you are? Right?
Oh, you're higher than Lord Shiva now, huh? Is that now you're flying around, you got an airplane from Lord Vishnu, and now you're like...
Yeah. It's like in your private jet from Lord Vishnu.
She's going to continue a few verses here.
Alas, Lord Brahma, who has taken his birth from the lotus flower, does not know the principles of Dharma, nor do the great saints like Bhrigu and Narada, nor the four Kumaras headed by Sanat Kumara. Manu and Kapila have also forgotten their Dharma, their religious principles. I suppose it to be because of this that they have not tried to stop Lord Shiva from behaving so improperly.
That's heavy. That is heavy. Oh, I suppose Lord Brahma, who took his birth from the lotus flower, he doesn't know what he's talking about. You know more than him. And Bhrigu and Narada and Sanat Kumara and Manu and Kapila, they've all... we can't go to them anymore. You're the authority now, huh? That's how things work in the universe now. I wonder how he must have been like, oh.
Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Offended the mother. Don't offend the mother. Yeah. This Chitraketu is the lowest of Kshatriyas, for he has impudently overridden Brahma and the other demigods by insulting Lord Shiva, upon whose lotus feet they always meditate. Lord Shiva is personified Dharma and the spiritual master of the entire world, and therefore Chitraketu must be punished.
Okay.
This must be getting scary.
Please continue.
This person is puffed up because of his achievements, thinking, I am the best. He does not deserve to approach the shelter of Lord Vishnu's lotus feet, which are worshipped by all saintly persons, for he is impudent, thinking himself greatly important.
Ooh.
Oh, impudent one, my dear son, now take birth in a low, sinful family of demons, so that you will not commit such an offense again towards exalted, saintly persons in this world.
Oh, now there's the curse.
There it is.
That is
now
the curse.
It's all making sense, right?
That link, it just connected right there, like click. That's how he became Vritrasura. That's who Vritrasura was. Vritrasura was this great devotee, King Chitraketu, who had gone through all that he'd gone through, gone into his deep meditations, learned every lesson he had to learn, and then one day he said
this back to life.
His baby came back to life, spoke to him, the sages spoke to him. Narada gave him the meditation on Lord Vishnu. He meditated on Lord Vishnu. He saw Lord Vishnu. He offered prayers to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu gave him benedictions. And then one day he was flying around and he said something. and this is the thing, Raghunath.
Mm.
We're gonna see how he accepts. Now he could be like, "What are you talking about? I didn't even mean anything wrong by this. I'm not disrespecting Lord Shiva. I love Lord Shiva. And who are you to go and start cursing me for this and to take birth in a family of demons? I mean, is that fair? Is that right? You're going to do that to me when I wasn't trying to do anything wrong at all? He doesn't respond like that at all.
He doesn't.
Right? And this is a serious thing.
You got to be careful what comes out of our mouth, huh? Especially as devotees in sacred circles, they got to be careful what just comes out of the mouth. And you know what? People like me suffer from this. You know why? I just talk. I just talk. Ever notice that? Sometimes I can just really just talk. And sometimes you say things. Sometimes things come out that are very clever, insightful, and funny. And sometimes something real stupid comes out at an inopportune time.
I do that too sometimes, Raghunath.
Do you?
I do.
Mara, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Why do you say yes so quickly?
Very well.
I do it too, Prabhu.
Do you?
Do you? Okay, so the curse just came down. Let us continue because
16. Sukadev Goswami continued. My dear King Pariksit, when Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati, he descended from his airplane, bowed before her with great humility, and pleased her completely. That's how you take a curse.
What an example.
No retaliation. No, I'll tell you. You told me, let me tell you. You bow down. You bow down.
We started the Bhagavatam 4 years ago, right? Early on. It's 4. It doesn't matter how many ways you slice it.
It can't be 4 years.
Of course, it's 4.
2020, 2021. Wow.
4. Yeah. 4. 1, 2, 3.
It's like counting 4. Okay.
So we started, and early on we heard a story about King Pariksit, right? Who's the questioner in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And one day he was out hiking, he was exhausted, he was hot, he was tired, he was wiped out. He was kind of in a state of mind like he normally wouldn't be in, because always he's very respectful, right? Very respectful to the sages, to the sadhus, to the yogis. And he came across one. He came up to his Raghunath right over here.
I'm here. I'm listening. Focus.
Yeah. I see exactly where you're focused. You're like 4 more years. Jim Wood wrote 4 more years on the chat board. Timothy Tucker's writing on the chat board too.
Go on.
Okay. So when Maharaj Pariksit, all wiped out and dehydrated and kind of like a little bit maybe he was just like a little bit losing it,
Mm-hmm.
So he found one sage in his little ashram and he said, dear sage, the sage's name was Shamika Rishi. He said, could you please help me and could you provide for me some water to drink? But the sage was in such a deep state of meditation. He was in samadhi. He didn't even understand that anyone was speaking to him. And so Maharaj Pariksit, he didn't get that in the state that he was in. And he was a little disappointed that this sage wouldn't even talk to him. And so he said, oh, okay, it's like that. And there was a dead snake right nearby. And he took his bow, and he lifted up the snake, and he wrapped it around the sage's neck like it was a garland. He wouldn't normally do something like that, right? We all have our days, and that was his day.
Bad days, our days for playing around with dead reptiles. We've all been there.
So then he returned home, and unbeknownst to him at the time, the son of that sage, his name was Shringi, he found out about this, and he was a mystic, a young mystic. This young mystic, and this is a really important lesson to learn. This young mystic, he had the power of a mystic, but he didn't have the full culture of a sadhu, And so that power becomes dangerous in the hands of someone that doesn't quite have the grounding to know exactly how to use it and how to apply it. So he cursed Maharaj Pariksit. Now, Maharaj Pariksit, he was a king that was supporting everyone by his strength and by his power and by his dharma. He was giving shelter to an entire kingdom. He made a small offense and he cursed Maharaj Pariksit to die in 7 days. It was a total overreaction. It was someone that had mystic power, but that had the grounding of a real sadhu would have maybe went and talked to him or something like that. Excuse me. You're the king. We respect you. We're grateful to you. But do you understand that what you did was inappropriate? Can we talk about that? You know, something like that would have been more appropriate, right? but he cursed him to die. It was way too much. But the king accepted it, right? The king accepted it. He actually. Oh, you know, it's funny, Raghunath. Just the other day. Let me see if I can pull this up. I found something about exactly what we're talking. I didn't know I was going to get into this. If I did, I would have brought this up earlier.
Tell me.
But let me see if I can find it. There's a phrase that he used. I hope I can find it.
King of Kings.
Yeah, I got it. I think I got it. Although King Pariksit had poetically described the Brahmana's curse as a cause of fear, the truth was that when he learned of the curse, he was unafraid and even pleased. He was pleased by the curse. He was already hoping for such a reaction to his offense. Like, I know I did something wrong. Let's get this offense. Let me pay the price, right? Thus, he says here, you know, because I don't have the diacritics are all messed up in the way I copied it and pasted. But he said something like Mata Priyatam. I took it as most welcome. I welcome the curse. And so let's see Chitraketu's response here. We're seeing a similar thing. You know, Pariksit, by his curse, he lost his position as king. Chitraketu, by his curse, is going to lose his position as king of the Vidyadharas. Two very high-level positions that come with lots of prestige, lots of power, lots of fame, lots of perks. But both of them let it go like that. Now, we're seeing throughout the Bhagavatam, Indra just not able to let go, right? Like scheming, plotting, and putting himself in all kind of difficult positions and embarrassing positions, just to try to maintain his position, right? That's ignorance, right? We're seeing a contrast. You know, there was another time, and we read this back in the 4th canto, where, if you remember, King Prithu, who was like this up and coming, incredibly powerful and righteous king, he was doing all kind of rituals, including the horse rejuvenation ritual, right? And he had done 99 and he was about to do 100, but Indra had done 100. He kind of set the record. And he was afraid that if this King Prithu does 100, he may take over my position. He may get so much good karmic, merit from that he may become the next Indra. He may bump me off. And so he did this crazy thing where he disguised himself as a sannyasi, and he stole the horse and took off, and he got caught. And he got brought back and embarrassed in front of everyone. Total humiliation. And then he went and did the exact same thing again and got caught again.
I can relate to Indra.
It's like a total, it is almost straight out of like a sitcom or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? And then when he had been captured the second time, he's kind of bound, and he's in front of King Prithu, and King Prithu's wondering, what should I do? On one hand, he's done something very wrong, And as a king, it's my duty to correct what's wrong. On the other hand, he's Indra. You know, he's meant to be respected, but he's acting in such an unrespectable way. So what do we do about this, you know? And Lord Brahma steps up and speaks to him. And he gives him this instruction that is like so deep. And this can be a big takeaway for today, you know, like what we walk away with. He said to him, kindly take my words with great respect. What a good way to start, right? Kindly take, he said, he said, do not be agitated or anxious because your rituals have not been properly executed due to providential impediments, right? The world didn't move your way. He's saying, don't focus your anger at this person. See it as a broader thing, right? See it as the world is not moving the way exactly you want it to right now. And they say, kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry, right? Not be very upset about it. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. Boom, right? Here's a life lesson, right? How much time and energy do I spend trying to bend the world back the way that I want it because I think that's the way it needs to be for me to be happy, you know? And then it doesn't work, and then I get angry, and I try to shift it again, and someone doesn't respond the way I want them to respond, and I get angry about it, I yell at them. And then still I'm not getting what I want, and I try to maneuver it in this way, and I try to maneuver it in that way. And what happens is my consciousness begins to enter into the darkest regions of materialistic thought, right? I begin to feel animosity, hatred for others. You know, it's like I have this dark cloud hanging over me, you know, because I'm always dissatisfied. And we're learning from these great souls. We learn from Pariksit, we learn from Prithu, and today and tomorrow when we read, we'll hear more about how Citraketu responds. But in each of these cases, very different than the way Indra responds. Indra's always trying to correct it, always trying to manipulate it, always trying to hang on to his position. And the others are like, if this is the way it's meant to be, I accept it. I'm ready to let go of my position. I'm ready to let go of my power. I'm ready to let it all go if that's the way the world is moving. So we'll have a chance to really focus on Chesterton and see just how special he is and how he became that person in the body of a demon, but with the consciousness of a pure devotee. How he spoke those words that he spoke on the battlefield to Indra. All right. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on over there?
We're good. All right. What do we got from this, Mara? What have you sort of like extracted from this? What have you encapsulated it? What little sutra, a little goodie, a little takeaway we can bring with us in the course of the day when our day starts to crumble?
I got some good stuff for your crumbling days. Hang out with people that lift you higher.
Oh, yeah.
Get to the root of the disease. Don't just fix the symptoms.
Shut
Right
the root.
on.
Put the fish back in the water.
Come on. Flapping around the material world. That's what we're doing. Just flapping around the material world, stealing the 99th horse, stealing the 100th horse, trying to have some fun.
We don't need to search harder for a solution. We need to understand the problem.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
99.
Spiritual connection is the only fulfillment. We're losing them.
Oh,
Hey,
I
keep
gotta
breathing.
breathe deep.
Lord Shiva is not ordinary.
Okay.
Don't offend the mother.
That's a good one. Don't offend the mother. Take that one away.
Okay.
Be careful what comes out of our mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See it as providential arrangement and don't waste time trying to rearrange.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Trying to rearrange.
accept a curse like Pariksit and Citraketu.
Okay.
Accepted. Thank you, everybody. I was going to start singing
I know what you're going to start
99
singing. But you
or
don't have to.
sacrifices. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here this morning, 2 days after Boxing Day. Oh, Krishna. Winding down, about to go to India. It's like right before you go on a long trip, it's like all these loose ends dangling around. Thanks for supporting us. I can't believe some of you people listening every day for 4 years. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. 4 years. We're here. Listen to Bob Tom every day. Join us live on Zoom if you're listening out there as one of the others. Right there, wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com. If you like what we do, hey, this is a community-supported podcast. Help keep this thing going by giving some monthly donation, whatever you like. Any currency you like. Thai baht, Japanese yen, Bitcoin, precious metals, whatever you like. Lebanon kroners. What do you use in Lebanon? Kroners? Krugerrands? What?
Like, what are you talking about?